Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is a release for the Switch I'm eagerly anticipating later in the month, and Capcom, during their Summer Games Fest presentation, it was kind enough to announce a free demo available right now on the Switch eShop. Today we're going to be taking a look at this demo, how it feels, what it contains, and if we should all be excited about it. My name's Alex, so this is Switch Corner, and if you enjoy the video today, consider subscribing, it helps out the channel a huge amount, and we have daily content here covering all things Switch. Let's get started. So the demo is going to give you around 1 hour of gameplay in total, though that is dependent on you picking up the controls here quickly. The final game will contain 18 chapters, and this, let's call it a sneak peek, will allow you to play the opening 2 chapters. Now these 2 chapters establish the initial cast, the story, and they guide you through some of the basic mechanics. Additionally, all the progress it will carry over to that full release. So this comes from the creator of the Ace Attorney series, and it was originally released in 2010. The premise is deceptively simple yet entirely gripping. You find yourself dead, the victim of a bullet in a dark corner of the city, and now you awaken as a spirit with no memories. Questions here, they loom. Who are you? Who killed you? And of course, why? Even more perplexing are the mysterious powers of the dead that you now seem to possess. So with your spirit set to vanish by morning, you embark now on a race against time to uncover the truth behind what has occurred. Your only clue, a lone female witness to your murder, whom you must now save from a looming threat, and that is a gentleman with a shotgun. It is good stuff. I did not want it to end after chapter 2. While it is a simple gameplay experience, it's actually quite difficult to pinpoint regarding genre, but if I had to place it somewhere today, I'd say this is a puzzle adventure game. Now here we have these powers and must use them to save lives of those around us. To do this, we can actually switch between the real world where time flows and the ghost world where time is paused. In the ghost world, we can move between objects within a certain range, and that is depicted by blue cores. Now in the real world, we can then animate these objects performing what are called ghost tricks, and these will alter the environment or even influence characters, changing the course of events. For instance, moving a tray of donuts can cause a dog to move. We could use a fan to move a flag up a pole, or we can use step ladders to create a new path due to our restricted range of movement. These are just a few of the early simple examples. Should a situation play out the wrong way then, leading to another corpse, we can possess that body and rewind time 4 minutes, giving us another shot. The funny thing is, so far that's really all that there's been to the gameplay, and I imagine that's going to cover most of this experience. This is not a game with complex controls, rather it's an experience with incredibly creative objects that will drive your curiosity. Often, for example, I didn't feel like I needed to possess something to influence my success, but I still did it because I wanted to see what the action would deliver. Now the big question off the back of this for me is, will it keep me locked in for 18 chapters, and only time will tell. There seems to be this kind of risk here that if it gets too complex, it could devolve into a lot of trial and error. That said though, it is well loved, so you expect that to be for good reason. Because of this, controls are simple. We can move our location with the D-pad or the left stick. Our triggers choose between the real world and the ghost world. We can tap to start an action, that's the A button. We have a record that details all events that have taken place so far. We can tap the Y button occasionally to hear the thoughts of characters around us. We can even listen to our own thoughts with a tap of the X button. We can also rewind and pause time if we find it is needed. While it works more than fine in docked mode as well, the clear way to play this game is in handheld with that touchscreen. It feels so much better, and that really makes sense because this game, it was originally built around DS functionality, and dragging and dropping our spirit simply makes sense. Visually then, it's a HD remaster of the original game, and it's great work. While I don't have the original, I did compare footage on YouTube, and it is a noticeable step up. Pixelation's been removed of course, but the personality and the world, it remains intact with some stunning character animations and easy to define menus and gameplay mechanics. I also noted that the gameplay retains the 4:3 aspect ratio of the original, with the left and right bars being dedicated to key items. During load screens, however, such as transitioning to the next location, it goes full screen, and they look fantastic. I also love the UI because this is so important for a game that can be played entirely on a touchscreen, and they've made it super easy to navigate. Audio then, and in a way the game shows its age here, mainly from a sound field front, meaning if there's no music the world can feel a little empty with only minor sound effects in place. Thankfully, however, the music is near constant and it is top quality stuff this far. It's playful, but it shifts in tone when needed to add to the tension and the uniqueness of this scenario. There's no voice acting here either, which I believe would be a nice addition, but at the same time, when you mess with a classic game, you would need to make it optional for the purists that are out there. Fortunately, many of the jokes though and the emotions, they are well handled with over-the-top character actions accompanying them. So what is different with this release outside of the visual upgrade and controller scheme tweaks? And I can only tell you what we know so far. New things may be revealed closer to that launch date. Right now though, the first is the music, and you can see this in the demo for yourself. The original composer created a remastered one-to-one soundtrack for the original game, and you can actually swap between these as you please from the main menu and the pause menu. While I wouldn't say it appeared massively noticeable, it's a nice touch that should be welcomed by all. Alongside this, we get the promise of illustrations and music, and this sadly it's not on display in this demo release, but you can see screenshots on the eShop, and it appears to be referring to a basic image gallery and a music player. Like any remaster, then it often falls to the core fanbase to assess its worth, as they are familiar with the original and likely have opinions about the updates. That said though, as an observer comparing to the DS version online, it seems to be a solid job. The remastered music is a nice touch, and the option to revert to the original score will be appreciated. Visually, the game's largely stayed true to the original, but now presents it more vibrantly and crisply. Would have been nice to see an option to revert to the original visuals as well, given they've already done this as well for the music. When it comes to extras, I'm not gonna lie, if it stays this way, it's kind of the basics here, a simple gallery and audio player, and I wish developers would go a little bit above and beyond in these areas. These are not just opportunities to introduce new players to the world, but to also celebrate a series or single game in this case, and I rarely note anyone doing that. Hopefully, however, this game can pull in enough people, because the best result possible is that it delivers enough cash for the studio to turn around and decide, let's go ahead and make another entry. For years though, I've only heard positive things about this game, and this demo, it's only made me more excited. So did you play it back in the day? Let us know in the comments. If you checked out the demo as well, let me know your thoughts at the same time. With that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, and news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.